Story 1. The day I inherited the old mansion was filled with mixed emotions, excitement at the prospect of owning such a grand property, but also a sense of foreboding that I couldn't quite shake. Little did I know that my first night in the mansion would forever change my perception of reality. As midnight approached, a chill settled in the air, and an eerie silence enveloped the house. I was awoken by whispers that seemed to echo from the walls themselves. The voices were indistinct at first, but they grew louder, filled with desperation and anguish. I followed the haunting sounds through the dimly lit corridors, the voices drawing me deeper into the mansion's labyrinthine interior. The whispers seemed to emanate from hidden chambers, their words clawing at my mind. Suddenly, I found myself standing in front of a locked door. The whispers intensified, and an otherworldly force pushed me forward, urging me to open it. My trembling hands fumbled with the key, and as the door creaked open, a gust of frigid wind greeted me. Inside the room, a presence loomed, an apparition of a tormented soul. Its hollow eyes stared into the depths of my being, and its voice pierced my very soul. The figure reached out, desperate for release from its eternal torment. In that moment, I understood the true nature of the mansion I had inherited, a place haunted by restless spirits trapped within its walls. The whispers continued to haunt me, day and night, a reminder that the mansion held secrets too dark to fathom. Story 2. Among the mansion's vast collection of artwork, there was one painting that caught my attention, an exquisite portrait of a woman, her eyes filled with sorrow and longing. Little did I know that this portrait held a malevolent power that would unravel the very fabric of my existence. As I gazed into the woman's eyes, an inexplicable connection formed. Her presence seemed to transcend the canvas, as if she beckoned me into her world. Night after night, I would find myself drawn to the portrait, unable to resist its mysterious allure. But with each passing day, the woman's expression grew darker, her sorrow transforming into a menacing grin. Shadows danced across the painting, distorting her features, and whispers filled the air whenever I entered the room. Strange occurrences soon plagued my life. Objects moved on their own, ominous footsteps echoed through the mansion, and the portrait seemed to follow me with its unyielding gaze. I could feel the woman's presence lurking in every corner, her malevolence seeping into my every thought. Determined to break free from the portrait's curse, I sought the help of paranormal experts. They warned me of the painting's power, an ancient enchantment that bound the woman's spirit to the canvas. Their attempts to sever the connection were in vain, and I was left with no choice but to banish the painting to a hidden corner of the mansion. To this day, I can't escape the feeling that the woman's eyes still watch me from the shadows, her wicked grin a constant reminder of the curse that lingers within the mansion's walls. Story 3. Within the mansion, there existed a hall adorned with a myriad of mirrors, a seemingly innocuous space that held a terrifying secret. The day I dared to enter the Hall of Haunted Mirrors would forever be etched in my memory. As I stepped into the hall, my reflection stared back at me with a twisted smirk. Unease washed over me, as if I had entered a realm where reality blurred and malevolence thrived. The mirrors seemed to warp and distort, reflecting grotesque versions of myself. The air grew heavy, suffocating, as the mirrors came alive. Shadows writhed within their depths, reaching out with ghostly hands that threatened to pull me into their inky abyss. Whispers, like echoes from the beyond, filled the hall, their words indecipherable yet dripping with malice. In a desperate attempt to escape, I ran from mirror to mirror, hoping to find an exit, only to be met with a never-ending maze of reflections. Panic surged through my veins, and I could feel my sanity slipping away. Finally, with every ounce of courage I could muster, I shattered one of the mirrors, its shards raining down like a shower of broken illusions. The hall fell silent, and the malevolent presence retreated, leaving me breathless and shaken. To this day, the Hall of Haunted Mirrors remains a forbidden territory within the mansion, a chilling reminder of the twisted dimensions that lurk just beyond our perception. Story 4. Among the mansion's opulent gardens, a collection of statues stood silently, their stone forms frozen in eternal elegance. But as I wandered through the garden one moonlit night, the statues revealed a hidden secret, an unnerving ability to communicate. I heard whispers, soft and delicate, carried on the night breeze. The statues seemed to awaken, their marble eyes shifting, and their mouths moving in sync with the eerie voices. Their words spoke of forgotten tragedies, of lost love and unspeakable pain. Driven by curiosity and a tinge of fear, I approached the statues, their whispers growing louder and more desperate. They pleaded for release, for an end to their stone imprisonment. Each statue bore the weight of a tormented soul, trapped within its lifeless form. As I reached out to touch one of the statues, an electric surge coursed through my fingertips. Images flooded my mind, visions of lives once lived, of joy and sorrow, and of the darkness that engulfed them in their final moments. In that instant, I understood the mansion's cruel secret. The statues were not mere decorative ornaments, but vessels of trapped souls, yearning for freedom. Overwhelmed by their collective agony, I vowed to find a way to set them free, to grant them the peace they so desperately sought. But the statues remain in the garden, their whispered pleas forever etched in my memory, a haunting reminder of the souls that still dwell within the mansion's boundaries. Story 5. While exploring the depths of the mansion, I stumbled upon a hidden door concealed behind an ornate bookshelf. Intrigued by the mystery it held, I pushed the door open and stepped into a room that would forever taint my soul with despair. The air was thick with a suffocating heaviness, and a putrid stench filled my nostrils. Shadows clung to the walls, as if they were alive, whispering secrets of long-forgotten horrors. The room was a chamber of suffering, a repository of unspeakable pain. As I ventured deeper, the walls seemed to close in, trapping me in a claustrophobic embrace. Bloodstains marred the floor, and chains hung from the ceiling, remnants of a cruel past. The room's darkness seemed to seep into my very being, filling me with a creeping sense of dread. In a corner, I discovered a decaying journal, an account of a tortured soul who had once been imprisoned within the room. The pages told tales of unimaginable cruelty, of screams that went unanswered, and of a despair so profound that death became a coveted release. A bone-chilling wind swept through the room, extinguishing my candle's flame. Panic gripped me, and I fumbled my way back to the hidden door, desperate to escape the room's grip. As the door slammed shut behind me, I vowed never to return, haunted by the room's lingering presence. To this day, the hidden room of despair remains locked, its secrets buried within the mansion, a grim testament to the darkness that resides within us all. Story 6. One fateful evening, as I settled into the mansion's grand ballroom, the piano at the center of the room began to play on its own. The haunting melody echoed through the empty halls, filling the air with a spectral ambience. Intrigued and unnerved, I approached the piano, its keys moving of their own accord. Invisible fingers danced across them, producing a melody that tugged at the depths of my soul. The music was melancholic, as if it carried the weight of forgotten memories and unfulfilled dreams. The ballroom's chandeliers swayed with an otherworldly rhythm, casting eerie shadows on the walls. Whispers accompanied the phantom music, as if ethereal voices harmonized in the darkness. I felt as if I were being transported to another time, enveloped in a dance with the spirits that inhabited the mansion. Unable to resist the enchantment, I swayed to the rhythm, my every movement guided by an unseen force. The spirits seemed to revel in my participation, their ethereal presence palpable, yet just beyond the reach of my senses. And then, as abruptly as it began, the music ceased. The ballroom fell silent, and the spirits retreated into the shadows. I was left alone, gasping for breath, my heart pounding with a mix of exhilaration and trepidation. From that day forward, the piano in the mansion's ballroom remained silent, but the memory of the phantom music lingers, a testament to the mansion's ethereal inhabitants and the enchantment that still echoes through its halls.